Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Following days of deadly mass shootings, President Biden spent part of his 4th of July holiday calling for tougher gun laws. I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington with what he's demanding of Congress.
Outside with live cam this morning, tons of humidity out there has returned. What if it's going to be hotter than a firecracker in the coming days as the heat is back on? Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the day after July 5th.
The day after.
The day after, yes.
For those of you that are going to work today, good morning. I hope everyone got some sleep. I know last night, for those of you that had to go to work, sleep was tough because San Antonio loves to celebrate.
They do. I heard fireworks twice last night, and I was like, is it midnight? Thinking, that's when we normally hear the fireworks around here at New Year's Eve. But no, it was like 9:30, 10:30.
Oh, yeah.
And 11 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
So not too bad overall. Went right back to sleep. How about you?
Oh, no. It was from 7:30. I live closer inner city, closer to downtown.
Right.
So party was getting started.
Well, tell your husband to back off a little bit next year.
I started hearing about 6:30. Right about the time I'm getting ready for bed. Yeah, somebody was setting off fireworks. It's like, you want to wait till the sun goes down a little bit?
So. Right, to maximize.
It doesn't matter.
We're moving on this morning.
It was a great night for it, though. We had a lot of clear to partly cloudy skies. And like you mentioned, though, now the humidity has definitely come back into the picture this morning. And we do have some of our morning clouds hanging around here. 81 degrees, same thing, Devine, Stinson, pretty common number out there. A lot more than even what we had the past couple of days as far as 80s. And these numbers, which were actually down in the upper 60s yesterday, the dew point temperatures measure moisture in the atmosphere. We're at 74s, 76s. Yeah, you are definitely going to be greeted by humidity when you step outside this morning. As far as the heat index, feels like 86 at the airport, 88 Castroville, 87s up there around New Braunfels, Canyon Lake, as well as Stinson and Randolph. Mold is on the low side. CPS Energy, it is a green conservation day. Scan the QR code to find out more about that. And throughout the rest of today, 89 at noon, 97, just like yesterday, because we are going to have a few clouds hanging around here throughout the afternoon. And there's the chance for a stray shower thunderstorm, primarily along the coastal plain. But some of those are going to be pushed a little bit further inland. And we're going to have the same or even slightly better chance to see a stray shower thunderstorm tomorrow as well. After that, details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Mark.
Top story this morning. Suspended Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will not take the stand at his upcoming impeachment trial. An overwhelming majority of Texas representatives impeached Paxton in May for alleged misconduct, including allegations he used his position to do favors for a prominent donor. Meanwhile, Paxton's attorney says the trial is illegal, calling it a sham that would, quote, encourage future kangaroo courts, end quote. Trial is set to start September 5th. If acquitted, Paxton will be able to resume his role as the state's attorney general.
The holiday and heat brought out tubers along Comal today, but these hot and dry conditions mean the trip down the river is a little different this year. John Paul Barajas explains why that could be good for local business.
I have 4 tokens for you. Y'all are going to turn these in around the corner for your tubes. I also have 4 wristbands. All 4 of y'all will need to wear one. Have y'all floated with us before?
There you go. It's no secret. Come summertime in South Texas, you have to find ways to beat the heat. And for many, river tubing is a go-to pastime.
It's my first time, and I'm really excited. It's fun.
So you've been on the river before?
Yeah, too many times.
But this summer, water levels could affect your ride along the river. For the Comal, stream flow is at 113 cubic feet per second, which is about 3 times slower than it normally is. The float here on the Comal is about 2 miles long, and typically when water levels are higher, it takes about 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete the float. But with water levels dropping, the time is significantly slowed to 3.5 hours. But the owner of Texas Tube says that's not necessarily a bad thing for those enjoying the water.
We're at a point to where you can still float all the way through. That's what's important. People don't like to get up and walk. So about a 3-hour float, people have enough, they're ready to go, get some AC, get some food in town, and hit the sack pretty early.
Coley Reno owns Texas Tubes. He says even with the drop in water levels, business is good. And most people we spoke to are okay with a longer float. Can you tell the difference of how slow it is? Or?
Definitely. I think I enjoy it because it's just longer in the water, and then you don't have to go through the shuttle if you want to come back.
But some with small kids say they'll think twice.
Yeah, that is a little bit concerning that it is going to take a little bit longer. But that's just us because we have a huge family, kids and all that, so we don't want to take too long on the river.
Slowed float or not, the Comal was packed and full of fun. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
I guess everybody's going in right there. Well, it may be summer, but the work continues at San Antonio City Hall to finalize the city's new budget. Mayor Ron Nierberg was on the news at 6 yesterday to discuss some of the city's priorities, including animal care services. Let's listen.
Really honing in on the challenges that we're having with stray animals and improved spay and neuter services. We're also going to be adding a significant number of new animal control officers to help with the stray population as well.
The mayor says that budget will also include funding for roughly 100 new police officers and a police patrol division. City manager expected to present the fiscal year 2024 proposed budget to council sometime next month. You can hear more of the mayor's interview on the budget and construction along the St. Mary's Strip right now on our website. Just head to KSAT.com and look for this story. Wendy Morning Headlines, urgent calls from the White House for tougher gun laws after a bloody holiday weekend across the country.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, gun violence overshadowed Independence Day celebrations from Fort Worth to the nation's capital.
From Fort Worth to Baltimore, frustration and grief after gunfire ripped through communities and claimed lives.
This country needs to re-examine its conscience and find out how to get guns out of dangerous people's hands.
In Philadelphia, authorities say a gunman wearing a ski mask and bulletproof vest opened fire, killing 5 people and injuring 2 boys ages 2 and 13. The gunman surrendering to responding Philadelphia police officers. And in Fort Worth, Texas.
Just before July 4th, we had a shooting. It appears that we had multiple victims that were shot.
Police are investigating after 3 people were killed and 8 others hurt in a shooting at a neighborhood festival. In Wichita, Kansas, at least 7 people suffered gunshot wounds and 2 others were trampled at a mass shooting at a nightclub. Investigators also continue a search for answers in Baltimore, where multiple gunmen are believed to have opened fire at a block party. 28 shot, at least 2 killed. Speaking to a group of educators on the 4th of July, President Joe Biden urged congressional Republicans to pass gun safety reform to protect the nation's schools and communities.
Banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, extensive background checks, they're part of the answer. They'll make a big difference.
In a statement, the president doubled down on his calls for tougher gun laws and recognized Illinois' ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines after 10 people were killed in a mass shooting at a 4th of July parade in the Chicago suburb of Highland Park last year. In response, Congress passed bipartisan gun legislation, including $750 million to help states remove firearms from people deemed a personal or public danger and strengthen background checks for gun buyers younger than 21. And the Gun Violence Archive, which tracks U.S. mass shootings involving at least 4 victims, already counting more than 340 mass shootings. More shootings than days so far this year. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
438, 80 degrees.
Coming up later on Good Morning America, how one mother dug out of deep debt and started a business now worth $10 million. She's sharing her secrets.
I realized that I only had $5 left and I hadn't fed my family for the week. I went to the store and bought everything that I could buy with that $5 and I turned it into $60 that day. And then I turned that $55 into $600 by the end of the week, and I've been flipping that same money for the last 17 years.
Look for that story on Good Morning America starting at 7.
And thunderstorms couldn't rain on this parade. After the break, we'll take you to the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Championship.
Still early out there, 80 degrees at 4:39. Checking in with the road, seeing if there's any incidents going on right now. We're not really seeing anything happening on our end. If anything does pop up, we'll let you know about it.
And back to work for everybody on this Wednesday morning. All right, outside by the airport. Yeah, we've got some morning clouds out there, but not too bad right now. A rather uncomfortable 80 degrees. We'll be right back. If you haven't heard yet, Joey Chestnut did it again, winning his 16th title at the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Championship. But it didn't come without some challenges. Right before the guys were set to take the stage, big thunderstorms rolled in, prompting a full 2-hour delay. But the show eventually went on, and Chestnut won by eating 62 hot dogs and buns. On the women's side, defending champ Miki Sudo won again with nearly 40 dogs and buns.
And the Florida Keys had a sweeter alternative yesterday. The Key Lime Pie Eating Championship in Key West, won by Joshua Mogul from Iowa, eating the pie in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Contestants are not allowed to use their hands for this one.
All right, so that does make it a little bit more of a challenge.
Very challenging.
What would you pick, hot dogs or key lime pie?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
Slowly, though.
Slowly.
I had my hot dogs yesterday. I think I was like 30 minutes to an hour of eating 2.
Yeah. They asked Joey Chestnut, how do you feel after you win all these titles? He's like, not good.
Not good. Not good. Yeah, not great at all.
443, 80 degrees.
After the break, professional golfer Amy Olsen competing in the U.S. Open this week while 7 months pregnant. That's next in your GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, meet the elite athlete about to compete in the U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship, who also just happens to be 7 months pregnant.
I've had multiple dreams throughout my life. One has been to play on the LPGA Tour and play professional golf at the highest level. But I also knew I always wanted to be a mom. And so this week kind of feels like the convergence of those two dreams.
Amy Olsen, being celebrated by moms and golf fans everywhere, is about to hit the links for one of golf's biggest tournaments with her first child on the way.
The U.S. Women's Open is like the top level of our game. And I was like, if I can play in that, if I qualify, I'll be there. I'll waddle down the fairway, whatever it takes.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of our interview with Amy Olsen and her inspiring words for moms to be everywhere. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
It's not your imagination. If your phone's been running slowly or your battery's draining quickly, it could be the heat.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz on what to do when the cell phone gets overheated.
That summer sun, it can wear you out. And it's not just you, it's your phone too.
You can cause major performance issues, reduce speeds. Your phone could even unexpectedly shut down, and in some cases may not turn back on.
Kelly Yarger with Batteries Plus says too much heat can permanently damage your phone's battery. Ever seen this on your iPhone? Apple's warning your phone's too hot.
The ideal operation temperatures for these phones is roughly around 32 to 95 degrees.
95? Lately, that's a cool front. So what can you do to protect your phone? Well, the first thing's pretty obvious. Keep it out of direct sunlight. But Yarger says you don't want to do this either. Leave it in the car. It gets ridiculously hot in there. Even putting it in your pocket on a very hot day is a bad idea. Instead, he says, use something like a backpack. Another no-no, stacking devices. It generates heat. If your phone gets hot to the touch, close your apps, lower the brightness, put it in airplane mode, and remove the case for a bit. It traps heat. Or the easiest thing, just turn it off. What you do not want to do with a hot phone is put it on charge or put it in the fridge. Yeah, it's a thing. Condensation can damage it. Bottom line.
You're using your phone excessively and it's hot and you feel your phone's warm, I'd get off your phone for a while.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with the roads. Really not seeing anything happening on the roads early this morning. Maybe everyone's going to be getting a late start after the holiday last night, late celebrations last night.
I'm looking real quick on the TxDOT website. No accidents to report right now, just the normal closure, Brooklyn at I-35 here in downtown.
Back to Amy Olsen, I think, the golfer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's 7 months pregnant. I saw the story right before we went on the air, and she said her swing is changing every day because her stomach's getting bigger
I
every
can
day.
imagine.
Yeah.
Well, you go, girl.
Good. It's good for her. Because a lot of people say, exercise right up, as long as your doctor says it's okay.
As long as it's safe.
Well, all right. If you want to exercise, I wouldn't go outside even this morning. I was going to say before it heats up, but it's pretty humid out there. All right, we had a lot of pictures. And if you have more pictures of fireworks yesterday, please send them in. But yeah, the original fireworks. And as Oscar says, no matches required to light these, but absolutely beautiful yesterday. Thank you very much for that KSAT Connect picture. All right, we got some of our clouds hanging around here this morning, and yep, it is more humid. Humidity really came up. 81 is the temperature, 82 Castroville. And then we've got a heat index of 88 in Castroville. Same thing up there at Canyon Lake, 87 Stinson, as well as Pleasanton. One of the reasons for that is the fact that now these numbers, which were a lot more comfortable yesterday, have really come back up. When you get them 75, 76s, and even higher than that, I mean, that's kind of the humidity we had a couple of weeks ago when we had those just outrageous heat index values. But the dew points are up 5 degrees yet compared to this time yesterday. And even, 2 around Pleasanton, 2 in Gonzales. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it does. A little bit makes a whole lot of difference, especially when you have this high humidity. So, as far as the next 12 hours, we are going to be seeing temperatures dip right into the upper 70s. A lot of clouds hanging around here. And then later on this afternoon, it's sort of like yesterday. Mixture sunshine and clouds, maybe cloudier skies at times. And then we have that chance for a few showers. Now, obviously, if the clouds stay a little bit thicker, 97, we may not hit it. We did actually yesterday when we cleared out a little bit in the afternoon, hit 97 degrees. So we will still be right up there in the upper 90s, about 3 degrees above normal. Here's a computer model. And we've got pretty much the various models are in agreement on what is going to transpire here. We're keeping our eye on the coastal plain with the sea breeze coming on in. Showers and even a couple of thunderstorms. Some of those may work their way further inland to right about 35, even a couple past that, possibly in portions of the hill country. But we'll have some of these scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around here going into the evening hours. And then, of course, they will start to die down overnight. Then tomorrow, pretty much the same situation. A little bit better chance, though, to see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. But we're still only talking about 30%. And folks out in portions of the hill country, this may not be your time to see any rain around here. And if you don't get rain today or tomorrow, that's pretty much it for a while. I don't even think there's going to be a stray shower left over on Friday, and temperatures will continue to go up. So we are looking at triple digits once again, starting this weekend, going into a pretty good chunk of next week.
What, maybe 2.5 more months of this, right?
Or 3 or 4.
No.
We've got the rest of July, August,
September.
Yeah, September can be a little tricky at times.
It can. Yep. So hang on, everybody. We can do this together. 452, 80 degrees.
After the break, a different kind of role for an 8-time Wimbledon champion. Your Spotlight News coming up next.
Lottery numbers: pick 3, 959, Fireball 0. Daily 4 numbers: 6466, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 6, 10, 23, 28, 35. I heard no one won the big Mega Millions jackpot.
Right. It's up to 427.
Oh, whoa. 21, 33, 54, 61, 67, Mega Ball 12, Mega Plier 3.
Happiness starts with a smile.
Jesse Metcalf rose to fame playing a teenage heartthrob on Desperate Housewives. Now the 44-year-old actor is getting different kinds of parts.
This is my first dad role.
Metcalf is now starring as the father in Lifetime's limited series based on V.C. Andrews' Dawn. Metcalf told Good Morning America he based his performance on one of his grandfathers who grew up in Brooklyn.
That's why I used a Brooklyn accent. He was always like a really kind of jovial, warm guy, one of those like Italian grandfathers that would always pinch your knee and you'd be like, oh, stop it, grandpa, or, give you sloppy, wet kisses on the cheek. I felt like, Ormond Longchamp, the character that I play in the Dawn movie, is that type of guy.
Dawn premieres Saturday on Lifetime. Lifetime is part owned by Disney, ABC's parent company.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Royal Box, Roger Federer.
8-time Wimbledon champion Roger Federer entered center court from a different door than he's used to. For the first time, he came in as a spectator at the All England Club. The champ got a standing ovation and cheers from the crowd as he took his seat next to the Princess of Wales. After 20 Grand Slam singles titles, Federer retired last year. Another dominant athlete is celebrating a birthday today. Baseball all-star Shohei Ohtani turns 29, and singer-songwriter Huey Lewis is 73. And that's what's happening in showbiz. Melissa Dawn, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Welcome back on this July 5th. In case you missed it last night, fireworks could be seen all over the U.S. This is what it looked like in New York City. We hope you had a great day with family and friends.
Beautiful sight there. Not so much over here. Already 80 degrees. The humidity is back, and so are the triple digits. Mike will have our forecast in just a bit.
Good morning, everybody. Seeing a lot of yawns this morning. It's Wednesday, July 5th.
It's always hard coming back from, the day off.
Or the long holiday weekend if you're off maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday.
Right. So thank you so much for waking up with us, and we hope we can wake you up. Mike, this humidity, not really something you want to wake up to, though.
Yeah, the past couple of mornings, we've kind of been catching a break as far as the lower humidity, but now it is definitely back when you step outside. That dew point is at 74, that bottom number there. That same number was right around 68, 69 yesterday, which is a lot more tolerable. That's getting into the fog up your glasses kind of range and almost kind of a wet blanket when you step outside. 81 degrees, and we do have a little bit of a breeze coming in here out of the south. 97 high temperature today. That's what we hit yesterday. We had a lot of clouds sticking around throughout a good chunk of the day, and then they broke up and cleared out somewhat later on in the afternoon. As far as the aquifer, now it has been going down quite a bit in the past few days, and it's continuing its drop in the wrong direction. 0.8 of a foot it went down yesterday. Mold is on the low side. So with all that humidity out there this morning, of course, we do have somewhat of a heat index to deal with. What it actually feels like is 86 degrees out there at the airport, 88 in Castroville. This is almost reminiscent of what we had a couple of weeks ago, especially when we had those just ridiculously high heat index readings in the afternoons. That's not going to be the case today, but we're pushing at 90 right now as far as what it feels like there in Castroville. So here's what's going on. More humid this morning, and then later on this afternoon, upper 90s, going from, like I said, 97 again. A couple of showers, a couple of storms, mainly to the east. They're going to be developing there along the coastal plain, the sea breeze. Some of those will get pushed in a little bit further to the west, pretty much about I-35, give or take on either side of it there. Way out in the hill country, I don't think you're going to be seeing anything as far as any rain. Tomorrow, about the same situation, a little bit better chance. And we're only talking 20-30% chances for some rain around here, but at least there is that chance, because after that, nothing and triple digits, as Sarah alluded to. Let's not jump the gun low, Sarah. Not till the weekend when the triple digits come back in here, and they're going to be sticking around for a while. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, hope you had a good 4th of July. What's going on the roads?
Well, I was moving, Mike. It wasn't that great, but things are definitely moving over here along US 90 at Medio Creek. Let's get a wider look at TransGuide, show you what's taking shape out there. I really like this shot because it does show you how busy US 90 gets around this time in the morning. Make sure to prepare ahead of time. There's lots of road work taking place, and some of that could impact your commute. Right now, though, along 90 at Medio Creek, not really seeing any delays, just a little bit more traffic. Taking you right to our map, this is going to be the story of the morning, folks. A lot of that scattered construction taking place in and around the Alamo City. You could see it right behind me, but again, none of it is really slowing folks down. However, as we take you to our travel times, I did notice that there was a slight delay. Looks like we've seen some improvement along 281 southbound from Bulverde. 27 minutes right now to the downtown area along I-10 eastbound. 25 minutes if you're heading in from Bernie this early, and 27 minutes along I-35 southbound heading in from New Braunfels. Got to get it back here on TransGuide, though. Again, busy shot at 90 at Medio Creek. We'll continue to watch the roads closely, and I'll have an update on some of those closures coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a silver alert out of Lytle, that's southwest of San Antonio. The Medina County Sheriff's Office is looking for 78-year-old Juan Garillo. He was diagnosed with a cognitive impairment. He was last seen around 11 a.m. on Tuesday on County Road 6851 in Lytle. He's about 5'2" and about 140 pounds. He has gray hair, brown eyes, and was wearing an orange shirt, blue dress pants, black shoes, and a silver watch with a tattoo on his left arm. Call the Medina County Sheriff's Office if you have any information. That number on your screen right now, 830-741-6153.
The New Braunfels Police Department has released a list of its top 5 most wanted suspects. Police there, along with the Comal County Crime Stoppers, are hoping you can help them track them down. The 5 suspects wanted on a range of charges. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information. That number is 830-620-TIPS. We also have more information on our website at KSAT.com. Well, now to a major ruling in the battle over free speech online. A federal judge restricting the Biden administration's contacts with social media platforms.
The judge sided with Republicans who claimed the administration overstepped in efforts to stop the spread of misinformation. One of the officials who filed the lawsuit is calling the decision a win for the First Amendment and a blow to censorship.
Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, a federal judge in Louisiana is limiting the Biden administration from contacting social media companies, the judge saying the administration likely violated the First Amendment when it pressured those companies to remove certain posts. The order comes as Republican attorneys general in 2 states sue the administration, claiming it pressured sites like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to remove messages containing purported misinformation about COVID-19, election security, and other issues.
On COVID misinformation, what's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
Trump-appointed Judge Terry Doughty called the efforts by the Biden administration Orwellian, saying American citizens have the right to engage in free debate about significant issues affecting the country. The judge adding, it is quite telling that each example or category of suppressed speech was conservative in nature. The judge also issued a preliminary injunction barring top administration officials and several federal agencies, including the Justice Department, from having any contact with social media platforms for the purpose of encouraging the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. The decision appears to take effect immediately, but can still be appealed.
The First Amendment does not prevent the government from trying to persuade people to do something. And the Supreme Court has explicitly held over and over and over again that the government has a constitutional right to attempt to persuade you to behave in a particular way. But the power is still left with the social media platforms.
Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
So far, no response yet from the White House or the Justice Department.
The judge is allowing the government to still communicate with tech companies about illegal activity and national security threats.
Right now, 5:07, 80 degrees.
Still to come, testing has begun on the Las Vegas Giant LED Video Dome. That's ahead in your morning consumer news.
Plus, crime scene tours are beginning for victims of the Parkland school shooting. After the break, how they'll be able to mourn their loved ones in a different way.
80 degrees at 5:07. It is going to be a humid day. Mike will have our forecast when we come back.
5:11 in Florida, the families of those killed and injured in the Parkland school shooting will soon be able to visit the site where their loved ones were hurt and killed. Starting today, some families will be given private, individual tours inside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The crime scene has been preserved since the shooting. The visits are expected to go on for a couple of weeks. Public access will not be allowed.
This is new video from Washington. A big fire is happening now in Shelton, that's not far from Seattle. Right now, the flames are spreading, threatening homes and triggering evacuations.
Just about 5:12, still hovering around 80 degrees.
Just ahead, the upcoming iPhone 15 lineup will be coming with bigger batteries. That's next in your Morning Tech Bites.
Super, what we doing, boy? Claire stayed in this amazing hotel and paid this much for her room. Jess found the same hotel on Trivago and paid a lot less. Trivago compares hotel offers from major booking sites so you can find the best deal for you. Hotel Trivago.
The long-lasting scent of Gain Flings made it smell like Dave was in his happy place, the massage chair at the mall. But he wasn't. Gain Flings with Oxyboost and Febreze.
In today's Tech Bites, the next generation of iPhones is expected to feature significantly larger batteries. The iPhone 15 will reportedly see the biggest increase in battery life, going up 18%. And sources say the battery capacity of the iPhone 15 Pro will jump by more than 14%. Google has adjusted its privacy policy so that public data can be used to help train and create AI products. Analysts say that this change shows that Google is leaning more heavily into AI. And testing is underway at the new Sphere in Las Vegas. The 17,600 seat venue includes a massive 292,000 square foot 16K LED screen. Those behind the project say that the goal is to help create a VR experience without the goggles. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Well, back here at home, big news for local students, teachers, and success coaches who support them.
Congressman Joaquin Castro and Greg Kazar announced their offices have secured more than $2.8 million in AmeriCorps funding that will go to the local nonprofit City Year.
Courtney Friedman explains how the organization helps students in 8 local school districts find academic success.
In 8 public San Antonio schools, these red uniforms are well known.
I wear this jacket with pride.
Jasmine Glasper says the jackets belong to student success coaches placed in schools by the nonprofit City Year, focusing on closing gaps in education. The success coaches are all members of AmeriCorps, a federal service agency placing over 200,000 members with nonprofits across the country.
Our Corps members go through about 3 weeks of training before school starts, where we really dig into like what does it mean to work with students.
Glasper is a former success coach and now manages City Year San Antonio's programming.
Working with the kids on tutoring, I was the ELA coordinator, so I was focused on English, so I would do English tutoring in the classroom, outside the classroom. We would also do social emotional learning.
24-year-old Sofia Farias completed her 10 months as a success coach last year, providing mentoring to improve literacy, math, and socio-emotional skills for at-risk youth.
I kind of was an at-risk kid in some aspects, like as far as dealing with mental health and being in a system that doesn't necessarily always understand what that means.
She says she's able to pick up on things others can't.
I'm like, oh, they're acting a little different like today, so we need to talk. Attendance as well, like help making sure like, okay, like why aren't you on time? Like what's going on? How can I support you?
Farias is grateful for the new wave of federal funding that will support 58 student coaches this coming school year and all the resources they need to succeed.
And it allows us to function. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without it.
They hope continued funding will allow students in even more San Antonio schools to see those trusted red jackets and know they have support. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
5:18, and Stephen is here. Good morning.
I am here, yes, after a very, very, very long move. So,
but you're done.
Yes,
settled.
Yes, and thank you all for just hearing me gripe, and for you at home for hearing about my gripes as well. It is over. We can now move on. So let's just talk traffic. Things are okay over here in my department. I haven't really seen any issues pop up from our friends over at TxDOT or TransGuide, but we are seeing traffic moving throughout some of these areas, as you can see right there on your screen. 10 at West Avenue. We had a pretty big incident there yesterday that shut down several lanes. But thankfully right now, pretty much in the clear there, and our friends over at TransGuide are panning around 10 at Vance Jackson, but I haven't seen anything out there just yet. As I mentioned, big story, at least for right now, will be a lot of the construction you see happening in and around the Alamo City. And as a quick reminder, there will be some work taking place here along State Highway 151 over on the west side of San Antonio. Construction work. This actually picks up today, and it's going to wrap up tomorrow, Thursday, July 6th. Starts around 9 in the morning, and hopefully we'll wrap at 3 this afternoon. We'll see single lane closures along the frontage road in both directions. So it's east and westbound lanes, guys, from Ingram Road to Cable Ranch Road. So that could impact your commute. Lots of stuff still taking place. So scan this QR code, takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. And I just updated the list of current closures on our website. So always good to know what to expect before you have to hit the roads, Mike.
Good idea. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. Love this. The unofficial neighborhood-wide fireworks display. A little bit more reserved. I started hearing things going off about 6:30 last night in my neighborhood. But yeah, it's always impressive just all over the place out there. So again, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. We've got some clouds around this morning. One thing you're going to notice when you step outside, the humidity has definitely made a return. It wasn't bad yesterday morning, but now we're looking at these heat index readings, mid and upper 80s. I mean, we're pushing 88 degrees right now there in Castroville. Similar, not the same, but similar to, a couple of weeks ago when we had just ridiculously high humidity out there. But at least with today, the humidity does drop somewhat in the afternoon, like it has been doing the past couple of days. We get into that 24-hour cycle. We'll dip down into the upper 70s briefly this morning and keep a lot of clouds around. Then by noon, going to make it up to 89 degrees. We'll top off at 97, just like yesterday. And there is that chance. I'm going for a 20% chance here in town, much less down to 0 in western parts of the hill country, and a better shot at some rain down along the coastal plain. And 97 again is still 3 degrees above normal. No triple digits though. And of course, that's very dependent upon the cloud cover. Yesterday, we were hovering right around low 90s. Clouds kind of broke up a little bit. And temperatures were able to bop up then to 97. That's going to be the situation again today. So what we're looking at is more sea breeze, showers, a couple of thunderstorms to develop. Better chance, obviously, down here around Pleasanton, Gonzales, Victoria later on this afternoon. Some of those will continue to try and push in here more west and northwestward throughout the course of the day and into the evening hours. Then tomorrow, pretty much the same situation. Probably a little bit better chance to see a couple of stray showers, thunderstorms working their way a little bit further northwestward. And then after that, that's pretty much about it as far as rain chances. And the reason for that is another one of these big areas of high pressure is it's been kind of off to the waiting in the wings, if you will. But this thing is going to continue to slide in, scooch right in on top of us as we go in toward the weekend. And I don't know if you want to see this or not, but even going into next week, that thing is just not moving. And when you look at it, it's covering almost the entire southwestern third of the country around here. So that just means it is going to be very hot once again. We're looking at triple digits and nothing as far as any rain once we get past today and tomorrow. 97 today, same thing tomorrow. A little bit better chance for some rain tomorrow. Then we get up to 99 Friday, and we're looking at those triple digits. Saturday, Sunday, going into looks like a good chunk, most all of next week as of right now.
And
staying hot.
I'll take the cloud cover. We had some yesterday, and I feel like it cools things down just a little bit.
Oh, that helps because you don't have that just intense sun just beating down on you. But we're not going to be seeing as much then as we get on into the weekend as well. So, yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir. 522, 80 degrees.
Just ahead, why Vietnam is banning the new Barbie movie. We're heading to Hollywood. That's after the break.
Take a look at your lottery numbers this morning. Pick 3, 959, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 6466, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 6, 10, 23, 28, 35. No one hit the big jackpot up to 427 million, you said?
That's right.
21, 33, 54, 61, 67, Mega Ball 12, Mega Player 3.
By the way, Powerball tonight is up to $546 million.
Get your tickets.
Barbie's world travels have hit a snag. Vietnam has banned commercial screenings of the film. The issue? A shot of a map with a version of China's 9-dash line, which represents China's territorial claims in the long-contested South China Sea. Vietnam and other countries dispute those claims.
It's something that you just know.
Jodie Turner-Smith is getting her game on. The actress has joined the cast of Tron Ares, the third film in the Tron franchise. Oscar winner Jared Leto and past Live star Greta Lee also star. Production is set to begin in August.
You're going to have a really hard time.
Russell Crowe wants people to stop asking him about Gladiator 2. At a film festival in the Czech Republic, Crowe noted he knows nothing about the cast or the plot of Ridley Scott's planned sequel. That's because, spoiler alert, Crowe's character died in the 2000 original, and he's not in the new movie. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now 527, 80 degrees.
Taking a live look at the roads with TransGuide. Everyone getting kind of a little bit of a slow start this morning. If anything pops up, Stephen Cavazos will let us know about it. Things already heating up. I believe we're at 80 degrees at 5:29. Michael, let us know about this humidity that is returned to our forecast.
Back to work, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 5th, unless you're on vacation all week. And a lot of folks are on vacation this time of year.
Yeah, I wish I was.
But you're not.
But I'm not. I'm
You're here with us,
and I'm happy I'm here.
It's like a vacation with you. Yeah.
Say that again?
It's like a vacation with you.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Our little ray of sunshine here.
Trying to be. Just all this build-up.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Enough of that.
Enough of the Sarah Costa we love hour. So anyway, we've got, a lot of humidity out there this morning. How many times can I say anyway? I've said that about 4 times now. It definitely moved back on in the overnight hours. That bottom number, middle number, I should say, dew points at 74. That was right around 68, 69 at this time yesterday. So that much more humidity out there. You will definitely be greeted once you step outside. 81 is the temperature. We have a wind out of the south, 10 miles per hour. Heat index readings, they are up there again this morning. 86 in town, 85s up around New Braunfels, Canyon Lake, Stinson, Castroville at 87 is what it feels like when you step outside right now. Mold is on the low side, and then throughout the rest of today, we may dip down another degree or 2. Plenty of clouds hanging around here, and then we'll see the mixture of sunshine and clouds throughout the day. 89 at noon, and we top off at 97, just like the past couple of days. And we are going to be seeing a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms developing primarily to the southeast along the coastal plain with the sea breeze. But some of those will push in a little bit further to the west and to the northwest, so that there is that chance about as far as I-35, give or take, maybe 1 or 2 of them on the west side of that. But as far as folks out in northwest portions of the hill country, it's not looking good for rain. We do have one more rain chance, a little bit better shot of rain tomorrow. Then after that, we'll take a look at the weekend and see what's in store. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, any problems out there on this start of the short work week?
Yeah, I did see a stalled vehicle reported along 35 North at Loop 1604, Mike. We're going to find out exactly how that's impacting traffic in just a minute. But as we get a look around town, 1604 Petranco, things are pretty much in the clear for a lot of folks who are hitting the roadways. Maybe getting a little bit busier, though, here at 410 at Marbach, but 35 at Fisher Road out toward Von Army. Yeah, not a lot going on out there, but it does look like that may be the location where we do have that stalled vehicle. I'll check in with our friends at TransGuide a little bit later on, but as I take you to our map, we're just seeing a lot of that scattered construction. Any of it, is not slowing folks down, at least this early in the morning. So if you have to hit the roads, that would probably be the best time to do it, especially if you're traveling in from Seguin. I-10 westbound, we're looking at about a 30-minute commute to the downtown area here in San Antonio. 33 along 87 northbound if you're traveling in from Lavernia, and it's about a 30-minute drive time for our friends down in Floresville. But back here on TransGuide, as we take a look around town, there's State Highway 151 at Loop 410. Morning is off to a good start, so we're hoping that will last, but I'll keep a close eye on things, and if anything pops up, I'll be sure to let you know. Mark.
New this morning, one fire has burned 2 families out of their homes. It broke out overnight in a neighborhood outside Loop 1604 near West Military. Katrina Weber is there with a live report for us. And Katrina, good morning. We understand nobody was hurt, but we understand there's a lot of property damage.
Well, good morning. You're absolutely right. Bexar County firefighters say the damage adds up to about $500,000. But it happened in this neighborhood here back behind me. Firefighters say that it looks like it started in a trash can inside the garage of one home, then spread quickly. By the time they arrived, 2 homes on that street called Knobsby Way were already on fire. Fire crews say it looks like it got into the attic of the original home and then spread next door. A total of 7 people were in the 2 homes, and they all got out safely. Now, it seems that both families have holes in their roofs, among other damage, and it's unclear where those families will end up. Reporting live in West Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Today, rescue crews will continue their search for a missing boater on Calaveras Lake. Bexar County deputies were called about the missing man yesterday morning. Sheriff Javier Salazar says the group of 3 friends were fishing when one of them accidentally fell off the boat without a life jacket. The lake covers more than 3,000 acres, but Sheriff Salazar says they have a good idea where they need to search.
Our Marine unit is out here, as is one of the ESDs. Fire department has several boats out here, along with the game wardens. And so between the three agencies, we're out here searching.
You can look for the latest on this developing story right now on KSAT.com.
Topping your morning headlines, a damper on Independence Day celebrations.
According to new research, the July 4th holiday has seen the most mass shootings than any other day on a calendar year over the past few years.
CNN's John Lawrence reports.
For some people, fireworks may be the first thing they associate with July 4th. But there's a continuing trend that links fatal shootings to the holiday.
Everybody was right here, and they was just popping fireworks, like doing burnouts and stuff, and then there was a lot of gunfire that just started ringing out, and then everybody just started running everywhere.
According to CNN's analysis of data from the Gun Violence Archive since 2014, the Independence Day holiday has had the most mass shootings compared to the rest of the year.
This is insanity. This cannot be the society that we are expected to live in.
Both CNN and the GVA consider a mass shooting an incident where 4 or more people are injured or killed, not including the shooter. Over the past few days, heading into this year's July 4th, numerous mass shootings were reported in Philadelphia, Fort Worth, Texas, and Baltimore.
I think, frankly, people are tired of the finger pointing in the politics when nothing happens and nothing gets done except we just continue going from tragedy to tragedy.
The July 4th holiday weekends from 2020 through 2022 saw double-digit shootings in a single day. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And gun violence has been on the rise during the summer months. It's according to CNN analysis. The findings say of the top 10 days with the most mass shootings since 2014, all but New Year's Day took place in June, July, and August. You can look for the latest on this story on GMA starting at 7.
Happening later today, Houston police will be talking to that man found alive 8 years after vanishing. A woman told the ABC affiliate in Houston that Rudy would come to her house and spend time with her kids, and says he went by Dolph, short for Rudolph. Another neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous also told a Houston TV station that he saw Farias living in his mother's home for several years. Rudy Farias was last seen as a teenager in March of 2015. His mom says he went to walk the family's dogs. The dogs came back, but Rudy never did. Farias is recovering in a hospital.
Back here at home, San Antonio Pets Alive will be open today, and they still need your help after an emergency forced the group to move every animal out of its West Side facility. The shelter's air conditioning gave out, closing the building for at least 3 weeks. All the animals need somewhere to go. So if you're interested in helping out in fostering or adopting, you can find information about those applications right now on our website.
I love that the photographer let that pup lick the lens.
You know what? Let that puppy have some fun.
Absolutely. 538, 80 degrees.
Coming up later on Good Morning America, a jolt of fun. If you're still groggy from last night's celebrations during Main Street USA, we'll check out a town in Ohio and meet some local heroes making that area thrive for over 150 years.
And after the break, why more and more employers are trying to get people back into the office.
80 degrees at 5:38. Another muggy morning here in South Texas. Mike will have our forecast when we come back.
Welcome back. Many companies pushing for workers to spend more time back in the office. Labor Department says the average amount of time spent working from home every day last year was down just 12 minutes from the year before. More than 8% of job postings on job site Indeed advertise some sort of work from home option. That's 3 times more than 2019.
Baby boomers seem to like where they live. That's according to a new report. Turns out 38% of those 65 and up have lived in their homes for the last 30 years. With boomers staying put instead of downsizing, it may be keeping homes off the market for new buyers. I know that's my parents. They're like, we're not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. That makes sense now. So it's a tight market of supply as far as real estate goes. 542, 80 degrees.
Just ahead, a look at some of the stories that are trending now on our website. You can see all of them on KSAT.com We'll be right back.
Well, oh my goodness gracious, never mind. That little kitty's going away. It's like, I don't want to be on TV. Snug as a bug in a rug. And Nadia's here from the Animal Defense League. And oh my goodness gracious, this is the cutest little baby. Who's this?
This is Doe. She's a female short-haired little girl, and she's actually one of our fosters. So she's not up for adoption quite yet, but she'll be up for adoption hopefully in about a week or two.
Oh my goodness, and the most beautiful kind of grayish greenish eyes, but oh, and that black coat, look at how great, almost looks like a little baby bat. Kind of just all snuggling in there. Oh, absolutely adorable little kitty. What y'all got going on there?
Well, as you know, we're definitely looking for fosters. We're needing about 5 to 10 foster families a week just to save little ones like Doe. But we're also going to be launching our Pet Champion program on July 8th. So that's going to be for all the little kids ages from 6 to 11.
Okay, what's that going to involve?
So that's going to involve weekly activities for the summer months. And then there's more information on our website, but it's about $20 a child. And you do have to be, as a parent, you do have to be with the child during that time. But we're going to have Whisker Wednesdays and Fuzzy Furry Fridays. So we'll have plenty of activities for the little ones.
Like all these little babies. And like she was talking about fosters and more fosters out there. Just take these little ones home, bottle feed them, whatever they need, and takes a lot of work off their hands with all these little ones. So if you'd like more information about that, about adopting, maybe in a week or so, head on over to 11300 Nacogdoches, Paul Jolly Center, PetSmart, or adltexas.org. Thank you, dear.
He's Cat. Trending now on KSAT.com, an invasive pest that populates ash trees, killing millions of trees across 35 states. You can take a look on your screen. That bug has been discovered again here in Texas. According to Texas A&M Forest Service, the adult beetles were found in Cook County, that's north of Denton. Every year, Texas A&M Forest Service sets and monitors traps for the pest. We have more information on our homepage. And in case you missed it a couple days ago, the first supermoon of the year, if you could have seen it with all that cloud coverage, KSAT Connect users shared some great shots. A supermoon means the moon appears slightly larger than normal because it's at the point in its orbit closest to Earth. You can read more about that also on KSAT.com.
In our orbit here in the studio, Stephen Cavazos to our right. Good morning.
All right, guys. Well, things are definitely rotating here, wheels that is, out on the roadways. Let's go ahead and get a quick look around town as our cameras remain on rotation as well. 1604 at Kitty Hawk and 1604 at Valley Meadow. Doesn't look bad at all, but things are moving along and getting busier minute by minute. We know we can always expect to see some issues as that does happen. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here on the map. 10 eastbound at Callahan Road. I'll have to get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide about the situation because I'm seeing reports of a crash in the area. Obviously, map is not picking up any slowdowns just yet, but heading eastbound along I-10 could be a tricky commute for those that may be traveling into the downtown area this early. Watch out and let's hope everyone is doing okay. And not too far from there, actually another crash reported at 410 westbound at Jackson Keller Road. Again, not seeing any slowdowns, but anytime you see those flashing lights, remember, move over or slow down. You want to make sure that those first responders can clear up the scene pretty quickly. Let's now give you a jump over here, or get to you a jump over here to I-35 northbound at Loop 1604. I told you about a stalled vehicle. Doesn't really seem to be impacting traffic, and again, that is because it is very early in the morning, but as we inch closer to 6 a.m., that's expected to change. Wide look at the map does show a lot of scattered construction, none of it slowing folks down, at least just yet, but we're going to keep a close eye on things. We have the cameras back in rotation there at 35 at Fisher Road. Again, guys, we'll have to keep a close eye to see if those crashes are going to impact the commute. I'll step out of here in just a moment to talk to our friends at TransGuide, but looks like we could be entering the 6 a.m. hour with some trouble on the roads.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Mike, what's going on for today?
It's humid out there, and it's going to be, at least we'll see some rain. We'll put it that way. We'll just talk about the positive on that.
Okay.
So, not a great chance, but primarily down there along the coastal plain. And last night was a beautiful night for viewing some of the fireworks, and a lot of folks sent in some beautiful pictures. And I love that with the fireworks on one side, and you can barely see it over here in the American flag right there on the other side. Thank you very much for that KSAT Connect picture. Yeah, plenty of humidity when you step outside this morning. We do have a heat index right now of 86, 87 in Castroville, similar to where we were, a couple of weeks ago when we had those just outrageously high heat index readings, especially in the morning hours, and then they stuck around in the afternoon. We may dip down another notch or two. We're at 81 actually right now, get up to 89 at noon, and then 97 for a high temperature. We will have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds around here. 20% chance for a couple of showers. So that's the positive side. Now, 20% is not a great chance of rain, but at least that chance does exist, and primarily in we'll call it the southeastern half of our area. And it's all because of the sea breeze. It's going to generate some of those showers, a couple of thunderstorms. Some of those will continue to work their way further west and northwestward throughout the course of the afternoon, going in toward dinner time. Then they'll start to fizzle out after that. But we then have another chance for some rain going into tomorrow with the sea breeze, and perhaps even a little bit better shot at some rain, trying to move a little bit further up to the northwest as well. But once again, it's not going to be like a huge rain event, nor will everybody be seeing rain, but at least there is going to be a little bit of it out there. And so that'll be about it. So after today, tomorrow, pretty much shutting off the faucets as far as any rain. So we've got some of those low clouds hanging around here right now that you can see on the satellite picture, that darker shade of gray. And then looking at the national shot, right up to the north of us. A lot of rain up there around Kansas, but that's all sliding off to the east. So there's no systems, nothing that's bringing about any changes for us, except for the fact that it's just going to be getting hotter. Quick check on the tropics after things were kind of going pretty well a couple of weeks ago. Nothing out there, a few clouds right there in the middle of the Atlantic, but the Hurricane Center is not looking at any sort of development, at least in the next 48 hours. That high off there to the west, which doesn't do anything as far as bringing about any rain, anything like that. But the changes it will bring about is the fact that it's, like I said, going to shut off the rain as well as bring in some hotter temperatures. So as this thing decides to work its way in on top of us, that's what's going to then bring that, it's kind of that dome that sits there, prevents anything as far as any showers from trying to develop. And then that just stays in place, covering most of the almost southwestern third of the country, going all the way into the middle of next week. So with that thing sitting right there, doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any changes, except for the fact that it will be getting hotter. So the chance of rain today, primarily south and east along the coastal plain, but a few of those will work their way a little bit further up in toward I-35. A little bit better chance of rain tomorrow, going for 97s both days. And then here comes the heat this weekend, triple digits. And it looks like it's going to be a good chunk of next week. We're going to be seeing those hot temperatures again.
Okay, focus on that little hope for rain.
The little hope for rain, yes.
Thank you, Mike.
5:53, 80 degrees.
Take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 959, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 6466, Fireball 9.
Cash 5 numbers 6, 10, 23, 28, 35. Big jackpot alert. Nobody won Mega last night, so it's up to $427 million for Friday's drawing. The numbers were 21, 33, 54, 61, 67. Mega Ball of 12, Mega Plier 3. Powerball for tonight is up to $546 million.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, after the 4th of July inundation for some, I'm going to be tracking some new severe storms for the Midwest and Plains, and also more dangerous heat. We'll get into who is going to be baking the end of this week. And high alert at the beaches. 4 suspected shark attacks in New York in just 2 days. This morning, we'll have the signs in the water that mean danger. That and so much more right here on GMA.
Right now it is 5:57, 80 degrees. Taking a look at the roads with TransGuide, we are already seeing heavier traffic out there as folks head back to work after the long holiday weekend, including the 4th yesterday. Right now you're looking live at 35 and Fisher Road with some big rigs out there. Other parts of town, notably heavier traffic, 35 and Benton City Road as well. Traffic picking up here in the city. We'll take a look at everything with Stephen Cavazos coming up on your Wednesday. It is July 5th.